This is kind of cool. It's an unusual video for me, but today we're going to talk about Old Dragon. Hello everybody, Jordan here. The PH is silent, and we're going to talk about Old Dragon. This is Brazil Dungeons and Dragons. So a very nice gentleman named Julio came and sent me these 3 books, which is basically monsters, extra rules, and basic rules for a Brazilian RPG called Old Dragon. There aren't many English-speaking people in Brazil, so publications are usually translated into Brazilian Portuguese. And in 2009, D&D 4e in Portuguese was released, but it didn't really please many players. Also, the Brazilian Portuguese 3rd edition was out of print, and there wasn't a Pathfinder yet because Paizo didn't release Pathfinder in Brazil until 2015. Some got inspired by basic fantasy RPG and decided to create their own. And that is where this Portuguese original RPG based on BXD&D is from. This is like the OSR of Brazil, and that's really, really cool. A mix of what was popular in Brazil with some local diversity and culture imbibed in it, and Old Dragon is the name of the RPG that came out of this. And it became pretty popular in Brazil for RPG sakes, at least. I know that the Brazilian people they love Dungeons and Dragons. They love RPGs a whole bunch. So this is kind of cool. Now, fast forward to 2023. This is the Old Dragon 2nd edition that has come out. It was successfully crowdfunded and was one of the most successful crowdfunding projects in Brazil. And they have their own version of D&D Beyond called OD Online or Old Dragon Online. So you can go to olddragon.com.br/online. And this is a more modern version of BECMI with inspirations from Dungeon Crawl Classics, OSE, Morkborg, and many other products. They have funnels, they have hex crawls, roll under, a lot more. Julio contacted me and he sent me this stuff. He gave me a little bit of information. Now, these books are in Portuguese, and I do not speak Portuguese, but he just kind of thought, this is a cool piece of RPG history, and I clearly collect books, so I think this would be an awesome fit on my shelf. So I want to thank you very, very much. I have thanked you in email and various other things. He went to a lot of extremes to get these books to me, as the shipping to certain PO boxes was causing a lot of problems. So I'm sorry. So we have 3 books. Let's look at a few of them. This is book 1, which I think is the basic rules. This is it's a stitch-bound book. This is a really awesome book. And yeah, it just has your attributes. And I think I can extrapolate on some of these because of the little bit of Spanish that I know, but probably not a whole bunch. We have humans, we have elves, we have dwarves, we have halflings, and your classes. We have, I'm assuming, a fighter, a paladin, a barbarian, a cleric. I don't know, this is really cool, guys. And this feels kind of like Old School Essentials, where it's just a fun, compact book that you can take with you and play. This is really, really cool. Here are a bunch of the spells that we can have for your magical classes. Going over to book 2, this is the rules expanded, I believe. It says, the expansion introduces additional races, class specializations, and advanced rules suitable for levels 11 to 15. So the first book took you from levels 1 to 10. It also includes various optional rules for solo play. So kind of similar. We have races, but we have this must be half elf, I assume, gnome, and some extra classes and specializations for those classes. Ooh, we got a brooding guy here. And then last but not least, I think this is basically the monster manual. Monsters and Enemies is what this is. Definitive guide to the adversaries. This is really fun because it's a lot of the same monsters that you find in Dungeons and Dragons, but with new art and other fun things here. Here's like a dark dragon, a shadow dragon or something. Here's a dead dragon, skeletal. I mean, who doesn't want a good dragon? Drider. Ooh, a female Drider. And a Freet. Here's our elements. We've got air elemental, fire elemental. Do we have a gelatinous cube? Got a drow. All right, I found it, guys. The Cubo Gelatiniso. I don't speak Portuguese. Super fun though. This is great. This is such a cool piece of RPG history. So you're probably asking yourself, hey, Jordan, this is cool, but why make a video about it? For one, I really wanted to highlight with all of I know a lot of people are forgiving Wizards of the Coast and the 2024 Dungeons & Dragons is coming out, but I thought it would be fun to reiterate that if somehow all D&D crashed and burned tomorrow, there would be a group of people that are trying to make a version of Dungeons & Dragons and make it available to everybody. So even though if Wizards of the Coast isn't going to release something in your country or translate something, there will always be a version of Dungeons & Dragons for you to play, because the people own this game, not a corporation. And I think this is a really cool testament to it. So thank you again, Julio, for sending me these. I'm going to be keeping them on my shelf and showing them off to various friends that come over, because it's badass. So that's Old Dragon. I'll put links down below if you're interested in reading more about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a Patreon if you're interested in supporting the channel. And if you want more of me, I have a second channel where I've been doing kind of a D&D news roundup every Saturday. So be sure to subscribe down below and check that out. And I will see you guys all in the next video.